Hello everyone, thank you for joining us today. Despite the ongoing macroeconomic challenges since the start of 2024, we achieved a solid performance by adhering to our prudent execution and quality development strategy. By the end of Q2, our platform empowered a total of 160 financial institutions and served more than 53 million users with approved credit lines on a cumulative basis. During the quarter, we further solidified our business foundation and improved asset quality and operational efficiency, with a keen focus on the quality of loans. These efforts enabled us to significantly improve our risk performance and record the highest quarterly profit over the past 11 quarters, highlighting the strong resilience of our business. I would like to thank our entire team for their persistent drive for excellence and ongoing self-development, which has enabled us to navigate an ever-evolving market environment. At the same time, we are building a more open ecosystem and adopting a platform approach to create value for both users and financial institutions, aiming to further expanding the boundary of our business. In Q2, our revenue increased by 6.3% year-over-year to RMB 4.16 billion, with our net take rate increasing by over 1 percentage point year-over-year to roughly 4.4%. Non-GAAP net income increased by 23% year-over-year to RMB 1.41 billion, while non-GAAP net income per diluted ADS increased by 32% year-over-year to RMB 9.16. Thanks to our outstanding operational results and efficient capital allocation, our ROE in Q2 continued to outperform industry peers, coming in at 25.4% during the quarter. Despite facing macroeconomic headwinds, our asset quality has steadily improved in Q2. Based on our keen insights into risk, we proactively tightened our overall credit standards over the past 3 quarters, iterating risk strategies across loan facilitation, credit operations, and post-credit processes to improve risk metrics. Risk indicators for new loans have started improving since November last year and stabilized in the first half of this year. For loan collection, we further optimized collection resources to boost efficiency as line control issues have been largely resolved. Asset quality of the overall loan portfolio steadily improved in Q2, with day one delinquency rate decreasing by 10 basis points, while 30-day collection rate increased by around 1.2 percentage points sequentially. This positive trend in risk performance continued into Q3. With the optimization of risk strategies already in place, we are confident in our ability to deliver on our operational and financial objectives for the second half of the year. During Q2, liquidity in the financial system was relatively ample, and market interest rates remained in a downward trend. With robust asset quality, we maintained our negotiating leverage on the funding side to further drive down costs. We also maintained the pace of ABS issuance, with RMB 4.6 billion issued in Q2. ABS issuance during the first half of the year increased 30% compared to the same period last year. Overall funding costs in Q2 decreased by another 56 basis points sequentially, resulting in a total decrease of 132 basis points for the first half of the year. This notably improved the take rate for our capital-heavy business. For the second half of the year, we expect funding costs to maintain largely stable with potential to slightly decrease further. In terms of user acquisition, we focused on acquiring and retaining high-value users, while further diversifying acquisition channels and boosting efficiency. In Q2, we adopted a relatively prudent customer acquisition approach with a reduction in marketing spending. Among new credit line users, unit acquisition costs remained flat sequentially, while the percentage of high-value users increased by 6.8 percentage points. Our acquisition channels further diversified, with loan volume from our embedded finance business more than doubling year-over-year. The percentage of new credit line users from this channel increased from 36.4% in Q1 to 37.7% in Q2. We also partnered with a wider range of traffic platforms under the embedded finance model, including e-commerce, O2O, and short-form videos. Leveraging our strong user profiling and risk management capabilities, we have empowered these platforms to better serve a diverse user base. Furthermore, we are proactively exploring collaborations with financial institutions under the embedded finance model. By jointly serving the existing users who are currently underserved by the financial institutions, we will create new avenues for user acquisition. So far, we have entered preliminary partnerships with a number of financial institutions. This collaborative model is expected to significantly enhance service efficiency for financial institutions, improve the user experience, and promote financial inclusion over the long term. We are also building a comprehensive credit tech service platform based on users' risk profiles and values. By empowering financial institutions with a diverse range of products, services, and collaborative models, we aim to promote financial inclusion across the board. For financial institutions, we have improved underwriting efficiency by providing more precise user profiling and better fund asset matching tailored to different risk appetites and return preferences. For end users, we have expanded the breadth and depth of our services by introducing a more diverse range of financial institutions and a broader price spectrum. We have also enriched our user loyalty program with additional benefits and improved our long-term retention through differentiated user operations. By upgrading from a loan facilitation model to a platform model, we are expanding our total addressable market and extending the user lifecycle, enabling us to boost operational efficiency and long-term profitability while balancing risks. In Q2, we further optimized the structure of our business with a higher contribution from the capital light model. The percentage of loan volume under the ICE model increased slightly to 24.6%, with the revenue take rate as a percentage of loan volume increasing by 54 basis points from the same period last year. Our technology solutions business continued to make steady progress. During the first half, we established partnerships with 7 additional financial institutions, bringing the total number of financial partners to 12. Our QiFu Digitech brand has won broad recognition across the banking industry and is now among the first-tier players in the market. As of the end of June, our end-to-end technology solutions facilitated nearly RMB 2 billion in bank loans cumulatively, with outstanding balances exceeding RMB 1 billion. Loan volume compound monthly growth rate reached 14% during the first half of the year. Of the new financial partners we onboarded this year, our solutions will be deployed and launched with 5 of them between August and September, driving further growth for this business. Our technology solutions have achieved an 80% standardization rate, offering financial institutions digital enhancements in operations, risk management, and products based on hybrid deployment. We are also seeing growing synergies between our tech solutions and credit businesses. Through our integrated solutions covering technology empowerment, joint operations, loan facilitation, and user referrals, we will further deepen our support for financial institutions and expand our customer reach. We continue to invest in cutting-edge technologies, with a strong focus on expanding the application of AI and large language models in the fintech sector to enhance user experience and improve operational efficiency. We upgraded over 10 modules in our efficiency-focused AI Copilot system, enhancing supervision, summarization, and analysis of collection teams' work to better support supervisors in managing both collection teams and cases. Currently in the testing phase, the upgraded system processes a 1,000-word call in just 5.3 seconds on average. Once rolled out in full scale, we expect the system to handle around 100,000 calls per day. We're also leveraging the large language model to enhance our chatbot's capabilities and communication efficiency and enrich the variety of scripts, increasing the average number of exchanges per call by over 10% and boosting script iteration efficiency by 40%. Additionally, we are also strengthening the Copilot system's fundamental capabilities through ongoing upgrades to our automatic speech recognition, ASR technology. By integrating our proprietary QiFusion framework model, we have achieved a speech recognition accuracy rate of more than 93% and an intent recognition accuracy rate of more than 95% in a complex context. QiFusion has also set a new industry benchmark for the lowest character error rate, making us one of the top performers in China. Notably, this achievement was recognized by Interspeech 2024, a leading global conference on the science and technology of spoken language processing. Looking back at the first half of the year, we successfully navigated a challenging macro environment and made significant improvements in both asset quality and profitability. We also upgraded our business model and enhanced user engagement through differentiated strategies. Additionally, we strengthened synergies between our tech solutions and credit businesses, reinforcing our platform position. As we look into the second half of the year, we will maintain prudent operations to effectively manage risks while continuing to iterate products and services, expand strategic partnerships, and build a sustainable growth engine. We believe many of our current initiatives will continue to generate positive results in the near future. Supported by the steady growth of our earnings, we have proactively optimized capital allocation and maintained a fast pace of share buybacks so far this year. Our combined payout ratio leads the industry as well as the majority of Chinese ADRs. Moving forward, we will continue to create value for shareholders through substantial buybacks and dividends. With that, I will now turn the call over to Alex.
Okay, thank you, Haisheng. Good morning and good evening, everyone. Welcome to our second quarter earnings call. While macro environment was still challenging, we continue to make good progress to optimize operations, improve efficiencies, reduce risk exposure, and deliver strong financial results in the second quarter. Total net revenue for Q2 was 4.16 billion versus 4.15 billion in Q1 and 3.9 billion a year ago. Revenue from credit-driven service, capital heavy, was 2.91 billion in Q2 compared to 3.02 billion in Q1 and 2.79 billion a year ago. The year-on-year growth was mainly driven by growth in on-balance sheet loan and the contribution from other value-added services, partially offset by decline in off-balance sheet loans. On-balance sheet loans account for over 28% of the total loan volume in Q2. Overall funding costs further declined over 50 bps sequentially and over 150 bps year-on-year, with the help of our strong relationship with financial institution partners and new ABS issuance. Revenue from platform service capital light was 1.25 billion in Q2 compared to 1.14 billion in Q1 and 1.13 billion a year ago. The year-on-year growth was mainly due to strong contribution from ICE and other value-added service, substantially offsetting the decline in capital light loan facilitation. Overall, the contribution from platform service further increased as we try to strike an optimal balance between risk-bearing and non-risk-bearing assets in an uncertain microenvironment. In Q2, we saw continued sequential improvement in revenue take rates for both cap-heavy and cap-light business. During the quarter, average IRR of the loans we originated and/or facilitated was 21.6% compared to 21.5% in the prior quarter. Looking forward, we expect pricing to be fluctuated around this level. Sales and marketing expense decreased 12% Q-on-Q and 16% year-on-year as we intentionally control the pace of user acquisition in an uncertain environment. We added approximately 1.3 million new credit line users in Q2 versus 1.45 million in Q1. Unit cost to acquire new credit line users was essentially flat Q-on-Q. We will continue to make timely adjustment to the pace of new user acquisition based on microenvironment from time to time and further diversify our user acquisition channels. Meanwhile, we will also continue to focus on re-energizing existing user base as repeat borrowers historically contribute a vast majority of our business. 90-day delinquency rate was 3.4% in Q2. The ratio was calculated by dividing outstanding balance of on and off balance sheet loans that were 3 months past due with the total outstanding balance of on and off balance sheet loans across our platform at the end of a quarter. As we continued to purposely cut our exposure to certain risk-bearing assets, total outstanding balance of on and off balance sheet loans reduced by approximately 15% sequentially in Q2. Therefore, the 90-day delinquency rate was mathematically inflated by roughly 18%, which is somewhat misleading. Furthermore, as we discussed in previous calls, this metric is backward-looking in nature and provides little value to help investors understand our asset quality trend. We strongly recommend investors focus on key leading risk indicators such as day one delinquency and 30-day collection rates. Day one delinquency rate was 4.8% in Q2 versus 4.9% in Q1. 30-day collection rate was 86.3% in Q2 versus 85.1% in Q1. The 30-day collection rate has since recovered to the similar level of Q3 2023 in recent months. We expect to see continued gradual improvement in these risk metrics in the coming quarters. As macro uncertainty persists, we continue to take prudent approach to book provisions against potential credit losses. Total net provision for risk-bearing loans in Q2 were approximately 1.31 billion versus 1.38 billion in Q1. The modest sequential decline in new provision was mainly due to Q-on-Q decline in off-balance sheet capital-heavy loan volume, while the new provision booking ratio rising sequentially. Write-backs of previous provisions were approximately 480 million in Q2. As overall portfolio risk metrics improved, we expect additional write-backs in the coming quarters. Provision coverage ratio, which is defined as a total outstanding provision divided by total outstanding delinquent asset-heavy loan balance between 90 and 180 days, were 421% in Q2 compared to 414% in Q1. Non-GAAP net profit was 1.41 billion in Q2 compared to 1.2 billion in Q1. The significant improvement in profitability was mainly due to better asset quality and operational efficiency, as well as the favorable mix changes. Effective tax rate for Q2 was 33.1% compared to our typical ETR of approximately 15%. The higher than normal ETR was mainly due to approximately $380 million withholding tax provision related to the large sum of cash distribution from onshore to offshore for dividend payments and share repurchase program during the quarter. With solid operating results and higher contribution from capital-light models, our leverage ratio, which is defined as risk-bearing loan balance divided by shareholders' equity, was 2.4% in Q2, a historical low. We expect to see this leverage ratio fluctuated around this level in the near future. We generated approximately $1.96 billion cash from operation in Q2, flat Q-on-Q. Total cash and cash equivalent was $8.5 billion in Q2 compared to $8.3 billion in Q1. Non-restricted cash was approximately $6.3 billion in Q2 compared to $5.3 billion in Q1. As we continue to generate strong cash flow from operations, we believe our current cash position is sufficient to support our business development and to return to our shareholders. In accordance to our current dividend policy, our board has approved a dividend of $0.30 per Class A ordinary share or $0.60 per ADS for the first half of 2024 to holders of record of Class A ordinary share in ADSs as of the close of business day on September 27, 2024, Hong Kong time and New York time, respectively. This represents the second consecutive time we raised our semi-annual dividend. On March 12, 2024, we announced a new share repurchase plan to repurchase up to $350 million worth of ADS over a 12-month period starting April 1, 2024. As of August 13, 2024, we have in aggregate purchased approximately 10.7 million ADSs in open market for a total amount of approximately $211 million, inclusive of our commissions, at an average price of $19.7 per ADS under the 2024 purchase plan. The pace of the repurchase is significantly faster than time schedule. The proactive execution of the share repurchase plan further demonstrates management confidence and commitment to the future of the company, and the management intend to consistently use share repurchase to achieve additional EP-ADS accretion in the long run. With the full execution of current share repurchase program and the dividend policy, we are generating the highest combined yield on a recurring basis amongst Chinese ADRs to our shareholders. Before we move on to discuss financial outlooks, I would like to spend a few minutes to talk about the technology solution business. We start to offer other technology solutions in large scale in early 2022, which provide financial institutions on-site deployed risk management SaaS module that help FI partners improve credit assessment results. In Q2, these solutions facilitated approximately 22.56 billion loan volume. However, these services only generate marginal returns even after more than 2 years ramping and do not meet our internal ROA target. As a result, we have decided to gradually discontinue these services by the end of 2024. The decision will have a negligible impact to our overall financial metrics. Meanwhile, since the middle of 2023, we start to offer end-to-end technology solutions to financial institutions, which covers various aspects of FI partners' operations. Such offerings should generate higher returns that satisfy our internal criteria when fully scaled up. That said, the ramping of our end-to-end technology solutions is still in its early stage, and it's facilitated approximately $685 million of loan volume in Q2. Given the above-mentioned changes, starting Q3 2024, we will provide pro forma information regarding loan volume and loan balance for the ongoing business and the intended discontinued business to better reflect year-on-year and sequential trend. We would strongly suggest investors and analysts make necessary adjustments to your respective financial models as well. Finally, regarding our business outlook, while we start to see some tentative sign of marginal improvement in demand, we will continue to take a prudent approach and focus on enhancing profitability and efficiency of our operation for the second half of 2024. Meanwhile, changes in business mix overall over the last few quarters will also result in change in the pace of revenue booking. As such, we expect to see continued improvement in overall take rate for the remainder of the year. For the third quarter of 2024, the company expects to generate non-GAAP net income between RMB 1.55 billion and RMB 1.65 billion, representing a year-on-year growth between 31% and 40%. This outlook reflects the company's current and preliminary view, which is subject to material changes. With that, I would like to conclude our prepared remarks. Operator, we can now take some questions.
Thank you. As a reminder, to ask a question, please press star 11 on your telephone and wait for your name to be announced. To withdraw your question, please press star 11 again. For those who can speak Chinese, please start your question in Chinese, followed by English translation. To allow enough time to address everyone on the call, please keep it to one question and one follow-up, and return to the queue if you have more questions. Thank you. We will now take our first question from the line of Richard from Morgan Stanley. Please ask your question. Richard, your line is open. Please ask your question.
听得到吗？请问
Yeah.
感谢韩总，感谢徐总，就想问一下关于一个是量的问题，还有可能就是这个利润的 guidance。那对我们现在因为宏观环境，刚才韩总也说到还是比较复杂，那我们对下半年和25年这个放款的增量有哪些的计划预期？那 take rate 会有哪些变化？那主要驱动因素是哪些？还有就是我们刚才看到这个管理层对三季度利润指导环比还是有很大的一个增幅的。那么这个背后的驱动因素主要有哪些？非常感谢。So two questions for me. One is loan volume for second half of 2024 and also 2025, as well as any expected changes in take rate. Secondly is obviously the profit guidance for the quarter is quite strong. Any drivers behind that? Thank you.
好的，谢谢 Richard。我先回答第一个关于这个放款量的啊。从这个预期上呢，我们应该说可以预期下半年的这个放款量会比上半年应该说可能还是会有一定的这个增长的。主要是有这么几个方面的考虑啊。第一个是呢，我们从需求上看的话，整体上需求还是表现出一个稳定的态势。我们6月份到7月份的用户的活跃度是有一个上升的。我们平时观察的这个 App 用户的这个登录发起率，比5月份呢也有一个7%左右的一个上升。这是需求角度。第二个是从这个风险角度来看的话，我们现在看到的这个表现还是比较好的。比 Q2 就 Q3 以来吧，还是比 Q2 有一个持续性的改善。所以我们觉得应该还是有一定的这个空间，可以为我们的这个交易量呢去做一定的打开，从那个通过率啊，从那个授信的额度上，从而提高用户的这个活跃度和他这个需求的满足。第三个就是在这个新客方面呢，那我们因为上半年还是做了很多的这个优化的这个工作，因此我们的获客的质量和这个效率都有一些这个比较明显的这个提升。在这个基础上呢，我们下半年的话也是可以考虑去增加一些这个规模去获客的。然后从这个第4点来看，我们在升级中的这种平台化的这种策略模式，这种模式呢可以让我们用更多的这种服务类型去服务我们更多的这种用户数，因此呢它也可以提升我们对于整体的这个用户的这个规模的覆盖和转化的这个效率。总结来说呢，我们应该说是上半年还是做了，包括去年吧，我们还是做了这个比较多的这些优化的这个工作，从而让我们有了更多的这个腾挪的空间去尝试。所以我们认为结合现在的这种需求的这种稳定和风险的稳定，我们认为风险的向好吧，应该说我们认为我们下半年这个放款量呢，应该说还是有一定的这个增长的这个希望的。同时我们其实也是这些工作呢还在为我们更长期的这个增长也会做一些这种准备和铺垫吧。
Okay, I will do the translation. First, regarding the loan volume growth, we expect loan volume to grow in the second half of the year compared to the first half, mainly because of a few reasons. The first one, on demand side, we observe that credit demand is relatively stable recently, and the user activity level has slightly increased in June and July, with the login initiation rate of app users rising by about 7% compared to May. Second, on risk side, the improvement of risk matrix is on track, and the momentum continues in Q3, which gives us more comfort that we can open up a little bit our pass ratio and the credit line to enhance the activity of our existing users. Third, in terms of new customers, we have diversified our channels and improved our efficiency in customer acquisition in the first half of this year, and the quality of new customers has been significantly optimized. Thus, we may try to invest more to attract new users through diverse channels in the second half. Fourth one, our platform strategy is basically to use diverse cooperation model with more financial institutions to serve a more diversified user base, which will enhance our customer coverage and conversion rate. So in summary, we have done a lot of work in the first half of this year, giving us more room to try and open a bit, given the improving demand and risks. So we believe that the loan volume in the second half of the year will increase to some extent. At the same time, this work is also laying a foundation for our longer term growth.
第二个关于 take rate， 我们对于 Q3 利润预期增长的这个驱动力呢，应该说来自于这么几个方面啊。第一个就是我们在 Q3 我们的风险成本和资金成本应该还是说会有一定的这个下降。这第一。第二呢，我们通过平台化的策略呢，提升了我们整体用户的这个覆盖，因此呢也会提升我们整体的这个盈利性。第三就是我们在 Q3 轻资产的这个业务的占比，还有进一步的一些这个提升。因为轻资产这个模式呢，它这个收入的确认节奏相对会快一些，因此呢它也会构成我们 take rate 上升的一个原因之一。那基于这些原因吧，我们觉得Q3 的这个 take rate 的这种增长呢，它应该来说应该不会是一个特别的这个常态。我们未来take rate 应该说不会是一直上升的这个趋势，因为连续上升了几个季度。我们觉得往后看的话呢，4%到4.5%，可能会是一个相对合理的这个区间水平。
Regarding the take rate, I would like to address that the main drivers of our profit growth in Q3 is mainly attributed to 3 reasons. The first reason is the credit cost and funding cost will continue to decline in Q3. Second reason is that through our platform strategy, we not only enhance our users' coverage, but also achieve better monetization. And third reason is that in Q3, the proportion of asset-light business model will be further increased, and the revenue recognition pace of asset-light model is relatively faster, which is also a reason for the rise in our take rate in Q3. So based on these reasons, we believe that the take rate in Q3 may not be a normal level, and we won't expect our take rate to rise continuously in the future, given we have been improving on the take rate in the past quarters. So in the long run, we believe 4 to 4.5% is a relatively reasonable level for our sustainable take rate. Thank you.
Richard, 这是我所有的回答。
Thank you. Our next question comes from the line of Emma Xu from Bank of America. Please ask your question, Emma.
恭喜管理层在这个复杂的宏观环境下取得了非常强劲的业绩哈。然后我们看到公告发现说周总这次辞任了公司的董事长以及董事的职务，所以这个主要是出于什么样的考虑？然后你们认为这个周总的这个辞任会对公司的经营有没有什么影响？So congratulations on the very strong result amid the macro challenges. And we noticed that Mr. Zhou Hongyi has resigned as the chairman and director of the company. So what are the main considerations behind this decision, and will it have an impact on the company's operations?
OK， 谢谢艾玛。对，周总，他辞任董事长和董事职务呢，主要是出自他这个个人自己的这个考虑。那他也认为呢，公司在金融科技这个领域上，应该说已经是一家比较这个成熟独立的公司了。他希望公司能够可以更加独立的去发展，保持相对独立的品牌人格和发展的这个战略。那周总呢，同时作为我们第一大的股东，对于公司的长期发展呢，他很有信心。过去2年一直在二级市场上增持公司的股票。根据我们在年报中的披露，周总在23年的2月到24年的2月之间呢，增持了158万的 ADS。那在今年的这个窗口期内呢，他也是有这个持续的这个增持的动作。从经营上看呢，周总过去基本上也不怎么参与公司的日常的经营管理，因此呢，他的辞任对公司的日常运营没有影响。未来呢，周总会继续在公司的战略和人工智能这些方面呢，给予我们继续的这个支持和建议。 那借此机会呢，我在这里也想代表管理团队，向周总在任职董事长期间为公司做出的贡献表示衷心的感谢。
Okay, I will do the translation. Thanks, Emma. Mr. Zhou has resigned from his position as chairman and director of the board of the company, mainly due to personal reasons. He also believes that the company has become a mature enterprise in fintech space and hopes that the company can develop more independently, maintaining its own brand and development strategy. As our largest shareholder, Mr. Zhou is very confident in the company's long-term development and has been increasing his holdings in the company's stocks in the secondary market over the past 2 years. According to our annual report, Mr. Zhou and his affiliates increased his holdings by 1.58 million ADS between February 2023 and February 2024, and he also increased his holdings during the window period this year. Mr. Zhou has not been involved in the company's day-to-day operations in the past, so his resignation will have no impact on the company's operations. In the future, Mr. Zhou will continue to provide his valuable insight to the company, particularly in areas of strategy and AI. So on behalf of our management team, I would like to express our heartfelt gratitude to Mr. Zhou for his contributions to the company during his tenure as chairman. Thank you.
非常感谢。
Right. Our next question comes from the line of Alex Ye from UBS. Please ask your question, Alex.
管理层上午好，我的问题是关于我们股东回报这一块。那我们看到这个回购速度在今年5月的一季度业绩之后，至今其实还是有进一步的显著加速的，那也快于原本1年期的一个时间表。想请问一下背后的考量是什么原因？然后接下来是不是可以预期公司保持目前的这个回购的力度 ？So we have noticed that the company has further accelerated the pace of share buyback since the Q1 result in mid of May, and it's also faster than the original schedule of 1 year for the 350 million buyback quota. So I'm wondering what's the consideration behind this, and then should we be expecting the company will be able to maintain this pace of buyback for the rest of the year? Thank you.
Okay, Alex, I will take this one. So as of August 13th, we have purchased $211 million worth of stock out of the 350 million authorization, which is about 60% into the program, much faster than the time schedule. And the reason we are accelerating our repurchase during that period is, for one, is because the macro environment is still pretty challenging, and the market itself is still very much undervalued the company's stock. We want to use that opportunity to do more repurchase, and this will allow us to create additional EPS accretion and ultimately maximize the value of our existing shareholders. Since we already finished the 60% in about 1/3 of the time of the plan, going forward, we will continue to execute the repurchase program based on the market condition. And if the market consistently undervalue our equity, we will probably continue a very active pace in the market and complete the current program ahead of the time scheduled. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next question comes from the line of Yada Li from CICC. Please go ahead, Yada.
管理层好，感谢给我这个提问的机会。今天有2个问题想请教一下。第一个问题呢是想请教公司资金成本能够持续优化的原因，那更多是因为 ABS 发行还是金融机构所需的资金回报下降的原因，哪一个贡献更大一点？那往前看2个部分分别来看，未来整体的一个优化空间还有多大？然后第2个问题呢，想请教一下公司资产质量当前有所向好的这个主要驱动力。如果从信用成本的角度看，那当资产质量回到我们之前正常的这样的一个年份水平，那会有多大的一个优化幅度？大概的优化节奏会是怎么样的？Then I'll do the translation. Hello management, thank you for taking my questions. The first one is about the funding cost. What are the main reasons for the decline on the average funding cost? Is it ABS insurance or more discounts on the required returns by the financial institutions? And if we look at these two parts separately, how much room is still there for the decrease of funding costs in the future? Secondly, the asset quality of the company has stabilized and improved. What are the main reasons to see this trend? And from the credit cost perspective, when we see the asset quality returns to the level of normal years, how much will it be optimized, and in what pace shall we see the optimization in the future? That's all. Thank you.
好，亚达，我第一个问题我回答一下，第二个问题请我们 CRO 郑燕回答一下。第一个关于这个 funding cost， 这个季度的话呢，我们应该说是重资本的这个资金成本部分下降的幅度还是比较大的，是一个主要的这个驱动因素。那 ABS 的成本呢，因为已经很低了，那这个季度呢又进一步的有下降。所以从这个结构的角度呢，这个季度 ABS 占比呢就是进一步还有一个提升。所以结合这个因素的话，加在一起，就整体上带动了我们这个资金成本整体上下降了有56个 BP。再往前看呢，我们觉得资金成本会保持一个基本的这个稳定，可能会有一个小幅的下降，但是空间可能也不会很大了。
Okay, thanks, Yada. First, in terms of the overall funding cost reduction, the significant reduction in the funding cost for our capital-heavy loan facilitation this quarter is the most important driving factor. And the cost of ABS, which was already quite low, has further decreased in this quarter. In addition, we have seen slight increase in the proportion of ABS from a funding structure perspective. So these three factors have collectively led to an overall decrease in the funding cost by 56 basis points sequentially in Q3. Looking ahead, we believe that funding costs will remain largely stable with a possibility of a slight decrease, but room for further reduction is quite limited.
第二个风险问题，
我说一下风险这一块。
对。
好的，我说一下风险这一块。然后公司的资产质量其实在 Q2 的时候表现还是就有一些显著改善的。然后我们主要的录余率30天的回收率这些指标已经连续几个季度都在优化，且这个趋势在3季度仍然有延续。对，那主要这些资产质量的改善主要有3个原因啊。第一个是我们为了应对整体市场环境的不确定性，在新增放款上面我们相对会更加的谨慎一点，然后通过大幅去优化风险模型和策略。那今年的1、2季度我们的新增放款的质量相对于去年的3、4季度是有一个比较明显的提升的。那第二块呢是在 Q2 的时候我们进一步去优化了资产承接的一个结构，我们通过定向引入可以和我们形成风险能力或者风险偏好像互补的一些外部合作机构。那在风险管理上，这些合作机构和我们形成了比较强的一些差异化的互补模式，让我们的资产质量整体会更加的稳健。那第3块是在对于存量的余额的管理上面，我们在2季度呢继续优化了贷后的运营管理的一些制度和方案，然后例如比如说我们加强了对客户的一些还款预提醒的一些动作，这个帮助我们有效的降低了入催率。同时呢我们对于合作机构的管理和考核上面也做了进一步的优化，这也帮助我们在回收率的指标上面会有一些明显的提升。对，那下半年来看的话，基于我们目前所看到风险情况，前面海生总也提到，我们也会适度去打开一定的空间，比如说在通过率和授信额度上面，对于优质客户会有进一步的一些倾斜，来提升老户的一些活跃度。那同时呢，我们也会有比较明确的进一步优化客户结构的管理措施，包括进一步去优化额度和定价的组合，然后全面去升级客户的权益，以及优化 App 产品端的一些客户体验。对，这些动作都会进一步去提升优质客户在整体资产组合中的一些占比。对，所以基于当前的情况来判断，我们预计下半年的风险整体趋势依然会好于上半年的一个情况。
Okay, let me do the translation. Our overall risk indicators, mainly the day one delinquency rate and the 30-day collection rate, showed stability and improvement in Q2, mainly for 3 reasons. First, in light of the macro uncertainties, we took a more cautious approach in new loan origination in Q1 and Q2, significantly improving the quality of new loans through a substantial optimization of risk models and strategies compared to the Q3 and Q4 of last year. Second, in Q2, we further optimized the structure of asset and funding matching by selectively introducing more financial institutions that can complement our risk capabilities or risk appetite. We have formed a differentiated and complementary cooperative model with these financial institutions in risk management, making our asset quality more robust and solid. Third, in terms of managing the risk of the existing loan balance, we continue to optimize post-loan operations in Q2. For example, by strengthening advanced reminders for customer repayments, we effectively reduce our day one delinquency rate. At the same time, we optimize the management and performance review of the external collection team, which also helped us to improve the collection rate. Regarding the second half of the year, based on the current risk performance, as Haisheng just mentioned, we may moderately open up a bit in terms of our pass ratio and the credit limits to enhance the engagement of our existing customers. At the same time, we have clear management measures to further optimize the user base structure, including further optimizing credit limits and the pricing combinations, comprehensively upgrading customers' rights and optimizing the customer's experience on our app product side. This will increase the portion of high-quality users in the overall asset portfolio. Thus far, we believe second half overall risk performance should be better than the first half and on a relatively stable trend. Thank you.
Thank you. We will now take our last question from the line of Cindy Wang from China Renaissance. Please go ahead, Cindy.
Hello， 谢谢管理层给我这个提问的机会，也很恭喜管理层在第二季度有一个很亮眼的表现。那我的问题是，就是我们看到公司上半年一直保持比较谨慎的这个获客节奏，那想询问一下，就管理层预计下半年整体的一个获客节奏的一个状况。那 CAC 这部分的话，大致上会和上半年一致吗？那我很快翻译一下我的问题。So, company has maintained a relatively conservative pace of customer acquisition in the first half of this year. So, what is the management's view of the pace of customer acquisition in the second half of this year? And will CAC be roughly the same as the first half of this year? Thank you.
好 ，Cindy， 我来回答啊。下半年的话，我们在获客的这个节奏上呢，可能会比上半年会略有加快一些。一方面是因为我们在上半年还是做了比较多的这个优化性的工作，提升了我们的盈利性，因此呢，我们会有更多的信心去获客。另一方面，我们也在不断的拓宽我们的获客渠道，获客的方式我们是越来越多元化的。不只是这个信息流的投放啊，渠道的多元化呢，比如在过去的几个季度里面，我们的嵌入式的金融保持了一个比较好的一个增长，并且这个 ROA 也在不断的优化。那同时我们也在拓展更多的这个渠道，比如跟电商啊、短视频探索去更深入的这种场景。我们也在跟银行的这个 App 去探索 API 的这种接入的机会。我们也会在我们巨大的这个存量的用户里面，比如我们那些优质的这种睡眠用户，通过这个导流的方式给到银行，那这些呢都会增加我们的这个客户规模和放款规模。总的来说呢，我们应该说不是说这个简单的去追求规模的增长，而是去追求有质量的这个增长。在这种这个原则的指导下呢，公司的这个健康度会更高。也就是说在同样的这种业务规模情况下，我们的这个质量和盈利性会更好。
Okay, let me do the translation. Thanks, Cindy. Regarding your question, we will say in the second half of the year, we may accelerate a bit our customer acquisition pace compared to the first half. This is because all the efforts we have put in profitability improvement in the first half is bearing fruit, giving us more confidence to acquire new customers. Furthermore, we are continuously expanding our customer acquisition channels, making our customer acquisition approach increasingly diversified. Our customer acquisition is not just limited to information flow advertising, but quite diversified. Over the past few quarters, our embedded finance model has maintained rapid growth, with the ROA also being continuously optimized. At the same time, we are expanding to more API channels, such as e-commerce, short video, and other scenarios. We are also exploring embedded finance model with banks apps. We are also referring to some of our high-quality dormant users to the banks. All these initiatives will help us expand our customer reach or boost our loan volume. In other words, we are not simply pursuing loan volume growth, but quality loan growth, thus achieving an overall improvement on our business healthiness. Even at a similar scale, the quality of our business now is significantly better. Thank you.
Thank you. We have now reached the end of the question and answer session. Thank you very much for all your questions. I'll now turn the conference back to the management team for closing comments.
Okay, thanks again for everyone to join us for the call. If you have additional questions, please feel free to contact us offline. Thank you. Have a good